Wen Jiabao, born September 15, 1942, in Tianjin, China, served as the Premier of the People's Republic of China from 2003 to 2013. His life story reflects a blend of resilience, technical expertise, and political acumen, shaped by China's tumultuous 20th-century history and its rapid modernization. Below is a comprehensive account of his life, covering his early years, education, career, political rise, tenure as Premier, and post-political life. Early life and family background. Wen Jiabao was born in Baikan, a district in Tianjin, during the Second Sino-Japanese War. His family was of modest means, with his father working as a teacher and later a librarian. The Wen family had roots in Yixing, Jiangsu Province, known for its scholarly traditions. Wen's early years were marked by the challenges of wartime China and the subsequent communist victory in 1949. His family's intellectual background instilled in him a value for education, though they faced hardships during the political upheavals of the time. As a child, Wen witnessed the destruction of his family home in Tianjin due to Allied bombings, an experience that reportedly shaped his empathy for ordinary people's struggles. His father's intellectual status made the family vulnerable during Mao Zedong's anti-intellectual campaigns, and his father was sent to work on a farm, facing public humiliation. These experiences influenced Wen's later reputation as a leader attuned to the plight of the disadvantaged. Education and early career. Wen excelled academically and pursued higher education at the Beijing Institute of Geology, now part of China University of Geosciences, from 1960 to 1965, majoring in geological engineering. He graduated with a degree in geological surveying and later earned a postgraduate degree in 1968. His academic focus on geology would define his early career. During the Cultural Revolution, 1966–1976, a period of intense political and social upheaval, Wen managed to avoid the worst of the purges that targeted intellectuals. He joined the Communist Party of China, CPC, in 1965, demonstrating early political alignment. After graduation, Wen was assigned to work in Gansu Province, a remote and arid region in northwest China, as a geologist with the Gansu Provincial Geological Bureau. From 1968 to 1982, he worked in various technical and administrative roles, focusing on mineral exploration and geological surveys. His work in Gansu, particularly in the harsh conditions of the Qilian Mountains, earned him a reputation for diligence and competence. Political rise. Wen's transition from a technical expert to a political figure began in the early 1980s. In 1982, he moved to Beijing to join the Ministry of Geology and Mineral Resources, where he served in increasingly senior roles. His technical expertise and administrative skills caught the attention of party leaders. By 1985, Wen had joined the Central Committee of the CPC, a significant step in his political ascent. Wen's big break came when he was appointed Deputy Director of the General Office of the CPC Central Committee in 1986, serving under General Secretary Hu Yaobang. This role placed him at the heart of party operations, managing logistics and coordination for top leaders. Wen's tenure in the General Office spanned 3 General Secretaries, Hu Yaobang, Zhao Ziyang, and Jiang Zemin, demonstrating his ability to navigate factional politics and maintain favor across leadership changes. During the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests, Wen was notably present alongside Zhao Ziyang when the latter visited protesting students, a moment captured in iconic photographs. While Zhao was purged for his sympathetic stance, Wen survived the political fallout, likely due to his administrative role and lack of direct involvement. In decision-making, this resilience underscored his political savvy, earning him the nickname Teflon Wen among some observers. In the 1990s, Wen rose further, serving as an alternate member of the Politburo, 1992–1997, and a full member from 1997. He was appointed Vice Premier in 1998 under Premier Zhu Rongji, overseeing agriculture, finance, and environmental policies. Wen's work on rural development and poverty alleviation during this period began to shape his public image as a leader concerned with social equity. Tenure as Premier, 2003–2013. Wen Jiabao was appointed Premier of the State Council in March 2003, succeeding Zhu Rongji, and served 2 terms until March 2013. As Premier, he was responsible for overseeing China's economy, social policies, and government administration, second only to President Hu Jintao in the formal hierarchy. His tenure coincided with China's emergence as a global economic powerhouse, but it was also marked by significant domestic and international challenges. Economic management. Wen's premiership was defined by China's rapid economic growth, driven by export-led industrialization and massive infrastructure investment. GDP growth averaged around 10% annually during his tenure, and China surpassed Japan to become the world's second-largest economy in 2010. Wen and his economic team, including Vice Premier Li Keqiang, implemented policies to sustain growth, such as stimulus during the global financial crisis, 2008-2009. Wen oversaw a 4 trillion yuan, $586 billion, stimulus package to counter the effects of the global financial crisis. The package funded infrastructure projects, housing, and rural development, helping China maintain growth while many economies contracted. However, it also led to concerns about local government debt and overinvestment in sectors like real estate. Rural and social reforms. Wen prioritized reducing rural-urban disparities, abolishing agricultural taxes in 2006, a historic move that eased burdens on farmers. He also expanded rural healthcare and education programs, including the new Rural Cooperative Medical Scheme, to improve access for millions. Environmental policies. Recognizing China's environmental degradation, Wen pushed for energy efficiency and renewable energy initiatives. However, enforcement was often weak due to local government resistance and economic priorities. Crisis management. Wen earned the nickname Grandpa Wen for his empathetic public persona, often visiting disaster sites and connecting with ordinary citizens. Notable instances include 2003 SARS outbreak. Early in his tenure, Wen played a key role in coordinating China's response to the SARS epidemic, advocating for transparency after initial government cover-ups. 2008 Sichuan earthquake. Wen's swift response to the devastating earthquake, which killed nearly 90,000 people, included personally visiting affected areas within hours. His emotional interactions with survivors and hands-on leadership bolstered his image as a compassionate leader. 2010 Yushu earthquake and other disasters. Wen consistently appeared at disaster sites, reinforcing his reputation as a leader close to the people. Political reforms and challenges. Wen frequently spoke of the need for political reform, emphasizing social fairness and justice in speeches. In 2010, he called for reforms to curb corruption and ensure checks on power, warning that without change, China risked instability. However, his reformist rhetoric faced resistance within the conservative CPC establishment, and significant political changes did not materialize during his tenure. Wen's leadership style was consensus-driven, reflecting the collective decision-making of the Politburo Standing Committee. Critics argued he lacked the authority to push bold reforms, as power was concentrated in the hands of Hu Jintao and other senior leaders. His tenure also saw rising social tensions, including protests over land seizures, labor disputes, and environmental issues, which tested the government's ability to maintain stability. Foreign policy. While Hu Jintao led on foreign policy, Wen played a significant role in economic diplomacy. He traveled extensively, promoting trade and investment deals, particularly in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. Wen's soft power approach helped strengthen China's global influence, though his tenure also saw tensions over trade imbalances and currency valuation with the United States and Europe. Controversies. Wen's legacy was not without controversy. In 2012, a New York Times investigation alleged that his family amassed significant wealth, estimated at $2.7 billion, through business dealings tied to his political influence. The report highlighted investments by Wen's wife, Zhang Bili, and son, Wen Yunsong, in sectors like diamonds and real estate. Wen publicly denied the allegations, and the Chinese government blocked the New York Times website in response. While no direct evidence implicated Wen himself, the report raised questions about elite corruption, a sensitive issue in China. Additionally, some criticized Wen for the gap between his reformist rhetoric and limited action. His calls for political reform were seen as symbolic by skeptics, given the CPC's tight grip on power. Others noted that his empathetic persona, while genuine to many, was partly a calculated image to maintain public support. Post-premiership and legacy. Wen retired in March 2013, handing over the premiership to Li Keqiang. Following CPC tradition, he stepped back from public life, maintaining a low profile. Unlike some retired Chinese leaders, Wen has not been implicated in subsequent anti-corruption campaigns, suggesting he retained a degree of respect within the party. Since retirement, Wen has occasionally appeared at public events, such as memorial ceremonies, but has largely avoided the spotlight. He reportedly spends time on personal interests, including geology, and has written essays reflecting on his career and China's development. In 2020, he published a tribute to his mother in a Tianjin newspaper, offering rare personal insights into his values and upbringing. Wen's legacy is complex. Supporters credit him with guiding China through a decade of unprecedented growth and global integration while advocating for social equity and disaster response. Critics argue his tenure failed to address systemic issues like corruption, inequality, and political stagnation. His Grandpa Wen image endures as a symbol of compassionate leadership, though some view it as a carefully crafted persona within a rigid political system. Personal life. Wen married Zhang Bili, a geologist and gemology expert, whom he met during his time in Gansu. Zhang later became a prominent figure in China's jewelry industry, which featured in the New York Times allegations. The couple has one son, Wen Yunsong, also known as Winston Wen, a businessman, and a daughter, Wen Ruchen, Lily Wen, who has kept a lower profile. Wen is known for his frugal lifestyle and interest in literature, often quoting Chinese poetry in speeches.